My brother once told me, not to hurt me, just because he was tired of watching it, that I was the most talented person he knew who was going nowhere. I laughed it off, but it followed me into work the next morning, into bed that night, into the mirror every single day for 6 months after. This is the story of what happened between hearing that sentence and becoming a man he barely recognizes now. And by the time this is over, you'll know exactly which sentence is waiting for you. Before that comment, my life wasn't falling apart. That's what made it worse. I had an okay job, an okay routine, an okay version of myself I'd quietly agreed to settle for. I told people I was still figuring things out. I'd been figuring things out for 3 years. At some point, figuring it out is just a nicer way of saying stalling. So when my brother said what he said, it didn't hurt because it was cruel. It hurt because it was accurate. Somebody had finally said out loud the sentence I'd been avoiding saying to myself. I want to be honest about what happened next, because most stories like this skip it. Nothing changed that night. Nothing changed the next morning either. What I did was smaller than a transformation. I made one decision. Not to fix my whole life, because that's too big to actually act on, but to give myself 6 months where I showed up for the unglamorous work every single day, whether I felt like it or not, and see who was left standing on the other side. The first month was the hardest, and not for the reason you'd expect. It wasn't the 5 a.m. alarm or the extra hour of work after everyone else had logged off. It was that nobody noticed. I was turning down invitations, tracking my sleep, actually finishing what I started. And from the outside, my life looked exactly the same. No applause, no results yet. Just me, alone with a decision nobody had witnessed me make, wondering if I was wasting my time. By month 3, I nearly quit. Not in one dramatic moment, in 100 small ones. A friend's birthday I skipped to finish something that, looking back, didn't even matter that much. A Friday night spent reviewing my numbers instead of going out, for what felt like nothing, because I still didn't feel any different. I remember sitting in my apartment thinking, this isn't working. I should just go back to comfortable. At least comfortable didn't feel like this. Here's what got me through that month, and it's the only piece of advice in this entire story that matters. I stopped waiting to feel motivated, and I started treating the discipline itself as the win. Not the results, not how I'd look or feel at the end of it, just, did I do the work today? Yes or no? Some days the honest answer was barely. But barely, repeated for 6 months straight, stops being nothing. Around month 5, my brother called about something completely unrelated. And near the end of the conversation, he went quiet for a second and said, "Something's different about you lately. I can't put my finger on it." I hadn't told him about the 6 months. I hadn't told anyone. He was just the first person to notice, from the outside, what I'd been building on the inside the entire time. That's the part nobody tells you about becoming who you actually want to be. It doesn't happen in the moment people are watching. It happens in the 6 months before anyone's watching at all. The version of you that shows up when there's no audience, no deadline forcing your hand, nobody to impress, that's the real one. Everything else is a performance of whoever you're pretending to be that day. There are 2 kinds of pain in this story. There's the pain of the early alarm, the missed party, the work nobody claps for. And that pain fades. 6 months later, I barely remember it. And there's the other pain, the one my brother's sentence was pointed at. Looking back in 5 years, 10 years, and knowing you had it in you and chose comfortable instead. That pain doesn't fade. It just waits. You already know which sentence is waiting for you. Maybe somebody's already said it to your face. Maybe you've only said it to yourself at 2 in the morning, then talked yourself out of believing it by breakfast. Either way, you don't need a bigger plan than the one I had. You need 6 months, one honest decision, and the willingness to keep showing up on the days it gives you absolutely nothing back. If this is the 6 months you finally stop waiting to feel ready, tell me below what yours looks like. I read every comment. And if you want more stories like this one, you know exactly what to do. Like, subscribe, share.